The first thing I want everybody to do is get educated on what your insurance is. Get educated on what you really have. And if you don't understand it, look in the mirror and admit that really quick, because you're protecting what you have. If you have a high level of assets and you're looking for a legacy, you want to protect that.
Welcome to the Up Your Average podcast, where Keith and Doug give no-nonsense advice to level up your life. So buckle up and listen closely to Up Your Average.
I'm super excited to have Gabe Greene join us today. Gabe is a lifelong friend, and when I say lifelong, it's because I'm old. And Gabe and I have been friends for almost 45 years. We met at Mitchell Elementary School in Muncie, Indiana. And in an awesome way, we've been able to grow that friendship over the years, where it's even better today than it's ever been.
I would agree.
So Gabe and his family live in Carmel, Indiana. Gabe owns an Allstate agency just down the road from us. He is an insurance expert, and he is just a guy who cares. I think that is the secret ingredient to your success.
Appreciate that.
It's one of the ingredients that I love most about my coworkers, is just the level of care that we can bring to people, especially when it's not going right. And so we're going to talk about insurance today. I know that's a riveting topic for most people, but most people don't know what they have.
Right.
And so I was thinking about this, Gabe, like, you know Shelly Shreve well. Shelly is my mom. She's probably our most favorite podcast fan. You've listened to the podcast though, right?
Several times, yes.
Is there any that jump out to you that you've liked?
You have to forgive me, I don't remember the titles, but specifically, there was one you guys did recently, or Keith did. I don't know that you were on it, where he was meeting with one of his friends and just talking about the importance of doing life. But each one that I've listened to has taught me something relevant.
Okay.
And the thing I really like is I think I could go listen to him again in 5, 10, 15 years, and it would teach me something relevant.
Well, and that's going to be the goal today, is as we dive into the topic of insurance, is just, what are the consistents? What are things that will always remain true, regardless of what state you're in, regardless of state being the state of domicile where you live, or the state of life you're in. And so, like with Shelly Shreve listening to the podcast, Gabe, my guess is my dad handles all the insurance stuff.
I would guess.
But if you were to help someone, if you were to help a new widow, where would you start? Like, what do you get into? How would you handle someone who maybe just doesn't know a lot about their homeowners or their car insurance?
Well, whether you're a widow or whether you're starting out in life, maybe newly married, or you're just, you're going away from mom and dad's plan and you're going out on your own. The first thing I want to know about for your insurance is I want to know about you. Tell me about your lifestyle. Tell me what's really going on, because insurance, what a lot of it does is it protects what you have. And I think that's where a lot of people miss it. So I want to know about you. The second thing I want to know is, what are your frustrations, or what do you want to know more about when it comes to your insurance? So the big thing we focus on with my agency specifically is we want to educate people on what insurance is, inform them on what they have and what it will do for them, and then provide products to fill any gaps that they might have. But the biggest element to what we do is we find out about the person and we educate them on what insurance is. And we hope to eliminate frustrations or lack of knowledge or missing transparency with what insurance does.
So before we started the podcast, Caleb, Libby, and I, we we're peppering Gabe with some questions. And Gabe, how would you rate all of us collectively, not individually, but collectively on the knowledge of what we actually have?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
probably a 4.
Okay. Which is, I think, fair. We all were breaking out.
Pretty good.
We were all breaking out our policies and looking at what we have. And so chances are that the listener, whether you're driving down the road or whether you're listening to this live right now, chances are they're probably a 4 as well. They might know that all their cars are currently covered and maybe they don't have something that they sold 2 years ago on their policy, but might not understand the coverages of it. So if we were to break down, I want to start with cars.
Okay.
What are some things that someone would need to know about their car insurance?
You need to understand what the coverages mean. So you have liability coverage, you have medical coverage, you have underinsured, uninsured, you have property damage coverage, you have all those different elements. And when you look at that on a screen, it can become overwhelming when the knowledge isn't available. And then we go out seeking the knowledge, and the knowledge can be partially correct or partially misunderstood. So if you look at, you're getting a quote from an online conglomerate, and it says state minimum is $2,550 or $5,100. That can take you into the weeds real quick because you don't know what that means.
Right.
But what it is it's liability coverage. You get $50,000 per person up to $100,000.
Okay.
Okay. And like we talked about earlier with Caleb, if somebody's going to sue you, they're going to sue you for $50,000. No, they're not. They're going to want a lot more than that.
That's the attorney bill.
That's pretty much. So when you go into it, you want to protect. If you own a home, you own cars, maybe you have some investments, they can go after those things. And you want to protect those, making sure your liability coverage is higher. And people would get really surprised to know to go from a state minimum to really good coverage isn't a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great protection and it's worth spending a little bit more to get.
So one of our friends and one of your friends is an accident attorney.
Yeah.
And he had looked at my coverages several years ago and he's like, what are you doing? And the reason why he did that is because at the time we drove the big black van. It was a 12-passenger van, not even a cool Mercedes one, just like a kind of like an A-team van. And with the A-team van, we had room for 12 people. My family is 6, but we always had people in there. And so just a state minimum coverage on my van would not have been great. And I didn't have that, but I had an amount that just wasn't sufficient. And so we were able to drastically increase that. And is that the type of stuff that you do? Like when you're asking people questions like, hey, who's going to be in this car? You know, what type of traveling do you do? What are some important questions that you might ask somebody to get to know their situation better?
Well, just like you stated, who's in the family that is a driver that's going to be listed on this policy? Do we have teen drivers? Do we have early 20s? Do we have individuals that are 65 and older that are going to be driving the vehicle? Because the younger we are, the more expensive insurance is, and then it tapers off. But then the older we get, it goes back to that more expensive element.
When does that start?
It starts at about 65.
Okay.
60, 65 is, and every 5 years you'll see those hits because our age, we don't get younger. So the risk becomes more.
Okay.
I want to know where your risk is at. I want to know a little bit about your assets. I want to know, what are we really protecting with insurance? Because that's what insurance does, is it protects you against loss.
Yeah.
So that people don't come after what you worked so hard to go get.
So if we're protecting against loss, what's your guidance on deductibles?
It depends on the situation. If you own your home outright, I recommend doing a higher deductible. If you don't, and I recommend going with a deductible that you're comfortable with covering. And again, you have to remember a deductible is going to come out of the proceeds that you get from insurance.
Okay.
In the vast majority of cases. So if you own your cars, go with a higher collision deductible because you're only responsible for the collision deductible when it's your fault or if you're going to subrogate.
Okay.
Okay. When it comes to comprehensive acts of God, coverage, I recommend going with the lowest deductible because that's the most likely to happen.
Yeah.
So if you can go with a $0 versus a $500 deductible and it costs you an extra $40 a year, that's pretty well worth it.
Give me an example of the act of God.
You hit a deer, a hailstorm, a tree falls on your car.
Have you had people call with a tree falling on their car?
All the time. You would be amazed how often that happens.
Okay, because I live in the woods. Now I'm concerned.
Well, I've been to your house. I think you're safe because you keep it well manicured.
I appreciate that.
Yard. It looks
I
pretty good.
appreciate that.
I don't know if it's Merrill Green quality.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, and so with cars, that's really helpful. Now, the other side is insuring the home.
Mm-hmm.
And so here in Carmel, when was the tornado? When did that come through?
That was back in May.
And so did you have any clients who had tornado damage?
I did have some that had some wind, no specific roofs ripped off or anything like that, but yes.
So when that happens, like when a hailstorm comes through or your siding gets blown off or whatever, like I wouldn't know what to do. And so I think having someone who would be an advocate for you is huge. What are those phone calls like that you receive during a time like that? And then what do you do? What's your next move?
First move is to listen. Okay, what's going on? Because I want to pick up on fears. I want to pick up on frustrations, anxieties, because what we're going to do is walk through that claim with you. That's a big deal because if you've never been through a big home claim, it is scary for people. Mm-hmm. Even as an agent, you want it to go smooth. The first thing I explain to people is you are not going to like the process because it's not going to move at your pace. Your house got destroyed yesterday and you want it fixed a week ago. Right. It's going to take time. The thing that I've learned as an agent is you can trust the process, but you will get frustrated with the process. And the moment you get frustrated, you have to call me.
Okay.
So that I can help ease your frustration and explain so that you understand what's going on. And when you're not happy with the claim, the adjuster isn't meeting expectation, you need to call me so that I can be your advocate against the adjuster.
So you have the adjuster involved, you have an insurance agent involved. Who else is involved?
All your contractors. There's going to be different levels of adjusters in a big loss. You have a liability adjuster, you have a loss adjuster, you have a displacement adjuster, you have personal property adjuster. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of moving pieces. And that's where having an agent is crucial so that we can make sure it goes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. So you basically oversee the adjusters.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't even know what the adjusters do.
Adjuster's job is to make you whole. Contractor's job is to get you everything that you want so that they can do well. The adjuster's job is to get everything that you need so that they can do well. Mm-hmm. And my job as the agent is to make sure you're happy.
So is there a dollar amount that you say, yeah, go ahead and file the insurance, whether it's on the loss of the house, the siding, or whether it's I just backed into my son's truck in the driveway? I mean, is there a dollar amount that you say, hey, yeah, go ahead and file this one, or you know what, I'd pay that one out of pocket? Do people call you with that question?
Every day. That's mostly on auto. Hey, it was a little fender bender in the parking lot. I'd really like to just pay it out of pocket. And in that instance, I say, well, then you need to call the individual and you guys settle that out yourselves. Mm-hmm. When it starts to go awry, then that's when you want to get me involved. I always tell people, look at your deductible. If the water overflows in the basement and all you got to do is get some new carpet and reface the bottom of a cabinet, how much is that going to cost you? Your deductible is $2,500. Is going to be less than that. Yeah, then don't file a claim. When you start going over your deductible by thousands of dollars and you see the possibility for it to increase even more, then we definitely want to look at, okay, get a contractor in there. Let's get a quote and look at, do we need to file a claim? Let's be well informed.
So if I were to need to file a claim, let's say the basement floods, mm-hmm. and I've got $50,000 worth of damage. It's significant.
Yeah.
And I file the claim. how long am I on the hook with that insurance company? Like, would I need to stay with that insurance company for another 5 years, another 7? Like, am I going to be able to get insured anywhere else?
It's a great question. And it's the one I get probably the most is, if I file this claim, is it going to hurt me?
Yes. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I am not always the one that can say it will or it won't. There
Right.
are things that you can add to your policy, those little bonus add-ons to prevent claim increases.
Yeah.
If you get the platinum policy, you can get accident forgiveness and you can get claim forgiveness, those types of things. In reality, in the way insurance companies look at it, it's a surcharge. So are they going to assess the surcharge? They don't always do that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on the situation. Yeah. But you're never obligated to an insurance company forever. You can always switch. But if you've got big claims on there, you have to be ready to understand that your premiums are going to be higher.
Yeah. So I think I've said this on the show before, but we've got a little thing at our house that we believe that math wins. And part of your education and growth process with Allstate is you've been able to go through trainings. Mm-hmm. And Caleb's cousin has done some of those trainings. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Did you know that, Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb's cousin is the math guy behind the risks that we all take. And so everything that an insurance company does is it's just fascinating math. And so here's another question you probably get all the time, Gabe. But so this might be confessions from a insurance agent. But so like if the tornado goes through Carmel, Indiana, and let's say everybody in Carmel is your client, they're with Allstate. Does that mean that the person who moves from California to Carmel the next year and they sign up with Allstate, are their premiums higher?
They will likely be, if they move into the same area where the tragedy happened, then they will be higher than what they would have if they had done it a year before.
Yeah. And so if they move from California and they move into the area, and let's say they go with an insurance company that didn't have a whole bunch of claims, would their insurance be higher just because they're in the area? Or is the risk based on the area, or the cost based on the area, or is it based on the insurance company's balance sheet and the risk they've?
It's a little bit of both. So the actuary is going to look at the risk for that specific area, but because they don't have high losses, they can afford to take lower premium.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a little bit higher than it would have, like I said, the year before? Yeah. But is it going to be significant with that other carrier? No.
Okay. And so what's something that you could say, hey, if you were going to encourage someone to take action today, what would it be? Everybody's got insurance out there. Everybody's got cars or a house or something that they're trying to say, hey, I want to do a risk transfer. I want someone else to take care of the problem if it comes up. What would be the number one thing that you would like to see people like me? What would you like to see me know about my insurance or do today to understand more about it?
The first thing I want everybody to do is get educated on what your insurance is. Get educated on what you really have. And if you don't understand it, look in the mirror and admit that really quick, because you're protecting what you have. If you have a high level of assets and you're looking for a legacy, you want to protect that. And if you don't know the terminology, you don't know really what that liability coverage means, what that medical coverage means, so on and so forth, get educated on that, and then find somebody that will help guide you and put policies in place on both home, auto, life, umbrella that will protect you, and then review that on an annual basis to make sure it's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right.
Yeah, that's good. And do you how do you do that? Like if someone were to come to you, whether they're a current client and they've had a life-changing event, or whether they're maybe somebody new like Caleb who says, hey, my mom and dad used to cover this for me. What do I do next? What's your process? Like, what are your next steps?
First, I want to get to know the individual. Second, I want to find out what their level of knowledge about their insurance is. And third, I want to educate them on what they are going to really need at this stage in life. So that, again, I let them know I'm going to walk through life with you. That's the funnest part for me, is getting in that relationship and walking through life with people.
Yeah.
And helping them understand what they have and what they need.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, okay. So, that would be a great assignment for everybody, just to call your current insurance agency and say, hey, could we get together? What does it take? 10 minutes? 15
It can
minutes?
take 10 minutes. It can take an hour. It kind of depends on what you want to learn.
And then going over what you currently have, seeing where the holes are. Maybe you're seeing a car that's been on there that you sold 2 years ago. That would be a great take action event for you and for your insurance today. I imagine it's kind of like doing taxes. You want to wait till it's like raining and cold, but so what do you think, Gabe, about the future of insurance? What do you think this is going to look like? And the reason I ask is because I am just fascinated by these driving cars. Like, is it Waymo? Is that the group that's out there? I was in Phoenix, and there are these cars that drive themselves. And so if Elon Musk were to get his way and all of a sudden I'm riding in the passenger seat to Gimbal Financial, like, what are you seeing with like Teslas and stuff like that? Are they more money to insure, or are they less money? What do you see the future with insurance?
The automation with cars that drive themselves, yes, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay substantially more in most cases for that, to insure those cars. Are they bad? No. Does anything take away from the human factor? No, it still doesn't, because there's error in those technologies. So I caution people, be careful with that.
Yeah.
As far as the future of the insurance industry, I think AI is really going to have an impact on it. And I hope it does, from the stance, I hope it makes people more knowledgeable, and I hope it makes agents better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really looking forward to with that.
Yeah, I feel the same way about our space here. And real quick, I'd like for you to highlight why you got into the insurance business. Gabe was in the automotive business for a long time. He was general manager of an Acura dealership. But what was it that you said, hey, I'm going to step into the insurance world?
When I was in college, I had two avenues. I had a good friend of ours, Richard Douglas, who was a Northwestern Mutual life agent, and he really pursued me and wanted me to get into insurance. I always wanted to be in the auto business from age 5, but I really had a debate there because it was interesting to me. I chose the automotive. I stayed in that for over 25 years. And decided, I really want to be in closer relationship with people. I want to be my own man. I want to have my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Working 6-7 days a week for over 25 years is a lot. And with a family, I want to be a better dad and husband, but still contribute to the community, because I love Carmel, love Hamilton, I love Indiana. Born and raised. What really got me into that was I didn't know enough about my own insurance. And once I started learning about it and I saw the opportunities in the business, it ignited a fire in me that obviously I pursued, and am now an Allstate agent.
And so one of the things that your business has given you is time. And I know you're passionate about a few things. And one of those things is Dad Camp.
Yeah.
And so tell everybody, like, what's Dad Camp all about, and what do you enjoy as far as your contribution? What do you enjoy about it?
Dad Camp is an opportunity for dads to discover how to be better dads, how to be better husbands. It's a camp for dads. You bring your kid or kids with you. You can go all at once or individually. I recommend individually. What Dad Camp gave me was a better understanding of how to be a dad on a daily basis, because I was such an absent dad for so many years.
Because of your work?
Because of my work.
Yeah.
And choosing to step into that arena changed my trajectory with my boys. I've got 3 boys, and it's just absolutely amazing. I encourage people to investigate it. And if you have questions, ask me. Dadcamp.org is the website. And it's just absolutely amazing. Faith-based organization. I sit on the board. So getting people to Dad Camp every year is one of my duties, but one of my joys, helping raise funds for them and helping them, with the staff and supporting them. And
what's a kid experience when they go to Dad Camp?
A lot of fun. There's so many activities.
And what's the right age to go to Dad Camp?
You start at first grade. So getting ready to go into first grade is when you want to get started with Dad Camp, and it goes all the way into the year before they go to college.
Yeah, and grandpas who go to Dad Camp?
We've got grandpas, we've got substitute dads, for lack of a better term, stepdads. We've even seen stepdads and dads come together.
That's rad.
And that's powerful right there. But when maybe dads have passed away, so grandpas step in and they bring them, but it really helps grandpa how to understand how to be a dad again, because maybe he raised daughters and now he's got grandsons, or he raised sons and now he's got granddaughters.
Okay.
So it's a great influence. Sitting around the campfires where it really happens.
And so are dad camps like all over the place? Like are they in Minnesota down to Florida, or where are they?
Yes, we are global. So we are all over the world. We're on fire in the United States. We've got 5 camps in Indiana alone, just to name a few. We're Pennsylvania, Illinois, Montana, Texas, Tennessee. We're in many, many places. It's really on fire in Guatemala, Belize, Africa, Ireland. It's big.
So having walked through life with Gabe, I mean, man, you used to work a ton of hours in the car business. Like, what do you think?
Oh, 70 plus.
I don't even know how you're still standing. But when you switched over into the insurance world, where you could truly express and manifest your care for people, it was a multiplier, because it allowed you to do that in the business, but it also allowed you to do that into your community. And that's where I've seen you shine in Dad Camp, and Gabe's very passionate about Dad Camp. And so I just think one of the benefits of having your own business, as Keith Tyner recently told me, I said, Keith, what do you like best about being an owner of a business? I asked him this 2 weeks ago. We were out for lunch. You know what he told me? It's an opportunity to change the world.
Ooh, I like that.
And so when you're working 80 hours a week at the car dealership, you can still have change the world stuff going on. But when you can slow down enough to think, where do I want to spend my time? Where are the excellent places? Where can I start saying no to so that I can actually have some energy? You can change the world one relationship at a time. And so I think about your business. You're having people call, they're stressed, they're maybe anxious, They don't know anything, they don't know what they don't know, and they need someone that they can trust and ask some stupid questions to. They need someone who can be there to help them, and whether it be a dangerous situation or a situation of loss or just a time of clarity so that they can have peace and move on. And then, with Dad Camp, being able to influence dads, encourage dads. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do this unless you'd said, you know what, I'm going to make a change. And how old were you when you made the change?
44.
And you had 3 kids at home?
3 kids, dog, mortgage.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so anyway, guys, I sure do hope you've enjoyed this time with Gabe. Gabe, how do people find out more about you, or if they wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do it?
You can go online, Gabe Greene, Allstate.com, GabeGreeneAgency.com. I've got several different websites. We're right here at 116th Street, 1717 East 116th Street, Suite 104. Or you can just give me a call, 765-717-2632.
And one last action. What would you want someone to do right now today?
In regards to insurance?
And you name it, insurance or anything.
what I want somebody to do today is seek your faith.
Okay.
That's what I want you to do.
All right. Well, have fun seeking your faith today. And Gabe, thanks for joining us.
Loved it. Thanks, guys.
Up Your Average will return next week. Bye-bye.